Welcome to another startup and complete car documentation. What we're looking at today is a 2002 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS.
This Monte Carlo is painted in forest green metallic.
I just gotta say, this thing is beautiful in this metallic green. Excellent color. On the remote fob, you have the buttons for lock, unlock, trunk release, and panic. The door panels do have storage areas, and you do get power windows, locks, and mirrors.
This one has an ebony interior with the available leather seats.
Both front seats are partially powered. And now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start the engine.
The Monte Carlo was a two-door coupe from Chevy that made its debut back in 1970. The model would be produced for 6 generations up until 2007, which would be its last model year. Its initial run lasted from 1970 to 1988 for 4 generations, featuring body-on-frame construction and a rear-wheel drive platform at the time. For 1995, the Monte Carlo was brought back from its hiatus, this time with a front-wheel drive platform and unibody construction. After its 95 return, the Monte Carlo would last 2 more generations. The Monte Carlo also has a rich legacy in the NASCAR scene, with many successful stock cars over the years being based on Monte Carlos. Likewise, a number of NASCAR-themed limited production special editions were made over the years as well. This 2002 model we have here represents the 6th and final generation of the Monte Carlo, which was produced from model years 2000 through 2007. It is based on the full-size version of GM's W platform, which was shared with cars like the Chevy Impala and Pontiac Grand Prix. For 2006, the 6th-gen Monte Carlo got a pretty notable facelift. For one, it received numerous cosmetic updates inside and out, putting it in line with newer General Motors models at the time, like the 9th-generation Chevy Impala. It also got new engines, including a 5.3-liter LS V8 for the range-topping SS trim, mounted transversely and sending over 300 horses to those front wheels. Prior to this, the 6th-gen Monte Carlo SS used a naturally aspirated V6 like the one in this video, and later a supercharged V6 in 04 and 05. The 2002 model year Monte Carlo could be had in one of 2 trim levels, LS or SS. There were 2 different engines offered depending on the trim, both being naturally aspirated V6s. The base Monte Carlo LS used a 3.4-liter V6, which made 180 horsepower, while the SS used a larger 3.8-liter V6 with 200 horsepower. SS models also had an available Sport Tune suspension. The sole transmission was a 4-speed auto, and the sole drivetrain was front-wheel drive. In Chevy's US lineup for 2002, the full-size Monte Carlo was the larger of the 2 front-wheel drive 2-door coupes, slotting above the compact Cavalier coupe.
First, you got your speedo and tach, but you also got your fuel gauge, temperature gauge, oil pressure gauge, and voltage gauge. With this button, you can toggle between your trip computer and odometer. It has a 3-spoke design, a leather-wrapped multifunctional steering wheel. As for controls, you have a cruise control, as well as your audio controls. The steering wheel is tilt only. The vehicle's parking brake is foot operated. You also have an electronic trunk release button there. You got your headlight and fog light switches, air vent. Right here is your high beam, turn signal, and wiper stock. Going down the center of the interior, you have your air vents, hazard light switch. You have your whole radio head unit right here. It is AM/FM with a CD player and a cassette player. Below that are the controls for your dual zone climate control. A lighter or a power outlet and some storage. Got a cup holder, traction control on or off, a little bit of storage. Now behind the gear shifter, you got the controls for your 2-stage heated front seats, another cup holder, and center console with some storage. The glove box is lockable. Both sun visors have vanity mirrors, lights, and extensions. Grab handle for the front passenger. Map lights. Also have OnStar. And then on this overhead console, you have a garage home link, power sunroof controls, and then you also have a digital info display in this little screen right here. Like I said, the color in this, the metallic green, it's in pretty good shape. Aside from the pollen kind of coating the exterior right now, but it's just a beautiful looking car. And 2000s, 90s General Motors interiors. Yeah, it's creaky. It's not the best build quality, but I've never really been bothered by that. It's kind of part of the charm of these older General Motors cars. But yeah, I just really like this car. Now we'll go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. The driver's window is automatic down.
Standard on the SS trim is this set of 16-inch 5-spoke alloy rims. Standard on the SS trim is the Monte Carlo's top engine for 2002, that being GM's 3800 3.8-liter naturally aspirated V6. It's a cast-iron pushrod engine with 2 valves per cylinder. It produces 200 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 225 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. Power is sent to the front wheels via a 4-speed automatic transmission with low gear selection. Running on regular unleaded with a 17-gallon fuel tank, Updated EPA estimates for the O2 Monte Carlo SS are 17 mpg in the city and 27 mpg on the highway. It uses a four-wheel independent McPherson strut suspension, and stopping the car are four-wheel disc brakes. As for curb weight, it weighs in at just about 3,400 pounds.
So now we'll check out the back seats. The front passenger seat also has a storage pocket on the back. You have an ashtray or some storage. You also got a power outlet back here, as well as a folding center armrest with cup holders. Coat hooks. So space back here, I'm about 6'1", and well, the driver's seat is pretty far up just to get back here, so space is obviously not the greatest for someone of my size. My headroom's not that great, but it's still not as cramped as like the back seat of a Camaro or something. And if you're even a slightly smaller person, that looks like some pretty decent legroom, actually. And as you saw earlier, the fuel cap is on the driver's side. Love those red badges. Dual exhausts.
The Monte Carlo's trunk offers 15.8 cubic feet of space.
Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2002 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.